could you speak a little bit about the process for how projects get to you, and then what kind of criteria you use when you're deciding on what you're going to take on?
Yeah, sure. Because I kind of worked my way up in physical production, like PA, first AD, PM, LP, that has changed over the years. So for a while, I was just kind of tagging in to execute physical production on any script that was ready to go. Now, I'm much more in the development and financing side of things. And the current content, my slate of films, we say all five features in various stages of something, are all with people I know. And that's not to say that I'm, or they're referrals. It's not to say I'm not soliciting or taking new queries or general meetings with individuals, but it's to kind of underscore your point, it's with people whose relationship I've built up. Now, we are hoping that in the next 5 years, my business partner and I can develop a film fund, because finding millions of dollars under rocks for every movie is not a sustainable way to go about this industry. So when there are more resources available, I would say that that becomes a world in which we're taking a lot more meetings. We're actively looking for projects outside of referrals or colleagues.
She's trying to create content now to prove that she's worthy of a film fund. It's just like all of us as writers, we're trying to write as many scripts to show that we're worthy of being hired as a writer.
But I do take generals. My email's on IMDb. It's not that hard to find. So I will take general meetings and people, and sometimes that'll lead to extensive, bigger conversations around collaboration.
I'm not answering for Angie by any means, but in terms of like type of projects or criteria, it's a good question, and it's so different obviously per person. But I will say that whoever you're trying to submit to or trying to get in touch with, know the projects that they've done in the past, know what they might be working on currently, study the heck out of them, and make sure that yours is even worthy. Like the ISA has a writing gig section where outside companies post a call for scripts basically, and then we also internally, we're looking for projects not only for ourselves but on behalf of other companies. And so we post a writing gig, and it's basically, like I said, a call for scripts. And I've been going through one. We have a procedural TV writing gig right now. If anybody's writing procedural TV right now, you keep writing it, because that's the only thing the TV industry wants right now. Nonetheless, I've been looking through these submissions. I would say 90% of these projects that were submitted to the writing gig, it's not procedural TV. So the writers are just kind of throwing things at the wall to see, like, well, maybe they'll just notice my screenplay. And meanwhile, there's 1,000 other postings in this gig that I have to read through, and it's a little bit of a different example, but you just have to make sure that you're targeting the target in the proper way.
And the other thing I'll say is, if you are fortunate enough to get a general meeting with someone a producer, an investor, a collaborator, I really hope you listen more than you talk. Ask a lot of questions. It's similar to how I build relationships with investors, is asking genuine questions about what they're excited about and looking for. I'm not just like pushing whatever I can at them, right? There has to be a symbiotic relationship there. So if you are fortunate enough to be in any of those rooms, make sure you try to genuinely figure out how the collaboration could happen, rather than just sort of
Trying to sell yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just a sales pitch.